Check, check, check. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Meta One Design Headquarters on Decentraland. My name is Sinful, and I am your host for Beyond the NFT. We are back on another Monday evening. It is so good to see you all here. Very special welcome to Dr. Drip and M. We have Audio Hot Labs over there. We have Roots in the building. We got Massa Waynes. Let's see who else. Who else? Is that Chloe over there? Welcome, Chloe. Welcome, Casa Islab. OAO, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I believe that is the lovely Scatline Rock. And we have Mohedi in the house. Let's see. Looking around the room, Sis of OTR, welcome. Meta Wolf, thank you for being here. We have quite the crowd, and of course we have the legend, Mr. Jay Stickle, in the house. He is the creator of this build that we are currently standing on. Very talented creator. Make sure to ask him about the curved screen that you're watching this show from. So tonight we have an incredible guest. But before we introduce this individual, a word from our sponsor, Bucktown MMA. Every week I talk about Bucktown because I love Bucktown. Bucktown MMA is Beyond the NFT's official sponsor, and we're pretty honored to have them. And while I stalled to get this screen up on this browser up on the screen, I now have this. Make sure to head over to bucktown.org/support. There you can read a little more about Bucktown. Bucktown is a mixed martial arts program that's focused on empowering youth and young combat athletes all around the world. Here at bucktown.org/support, you could pick up some NFTs. You can pick up some merchandise as well, and all proceedings go back to the program. So that's always a good cause to invest towards. Now that the bills are paid, and I have Maki climbing me. For those that don't know, Maki is my pet ferret. She is wreaking havoc around me. She's been climbing up my leg and stuff. All right, go play. I do have to apologize tonight, everyone. Tonight I have no Cammy. The Mew Cam is broken, I believe. I can't seem to get it to work. So yeah, you got my whole Decentraland self with a Discord screen on the side. So our guest tonight is a digital artist with 20+ years of experience. His skills span across to other creative mediums such as 3D animation, motion design, VR, AI, video, and FX design. It is a pleasure to introduce co-founder of Tend Studio, Denver Donkey. Welcome. How are you tonight?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm doing well. I'm at my kid's Little League game, so if you hear some cheering in the background, just know we're scoring runs in the background. We're getting things done over here.
All right. So that is the cue. If we hear cheering, that means that we are winning. So
Absolutely.
Denver, thank you so much for taking the time for being here tonight. Beyond the NFT is kind of just a small little talk show that I started here on Decentraland about over 3 years ago, and I mean I've been just keeping it going. I always enjoy having new guests on, meeting new people, and it is definitely a pleasure to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thank you. It's always fun to meet new people and friends of friends and talk a little bit more about Decentraland too.
Yep. I mean, we kind of briefly spoke in the back channels about excuse me, our mutual friend Roots here.
Hmm.
Real special person. We both love you so much, Roots. Thank you for being you. Is
Yeah, man. Thanks for being you, Roots. Always good to see you around.
Yes, sir. He's currently chilling on both on Twitch and on Decentraland. Uh,
Very nice.
so usually I like to start these shows off by passing the mic over to my guest and allowing you the opportunity to give yourself a proper introduction, talk a little bit about yourself, and yeah, we can get the conversation started.
Cool. Well, I'm Denver Donkey. Like you said, I'm a digital artist and I specialize in all things digital. I tell other artists, you don't want me drawing, you don't want me painting, you don't want me on a pottery wheel. That's not where I express the best. I've always used a computer, always used Photoshop, and then that was kind of my gateway drug into what it is to create art with a computer. So, um, in the Wayback Machine, I started in 3D on a software called Bryce Designs. And that just got me really nerded out for 3D. And then I started learning some video stuff back when I was in high school and um, kind of saw the shift from physical media to digital media and having a fully digital workflow. And that got me excited and wanted to go to school and pursue a career in digital creation. So I went to Colorado State University for a while, studied graphic design, and was pretty good at it, enjoyed it, but it just felt like there was like more I needed to do there, more that I needed to learn and sort of unlock. And then I transferred down to the Art Institute of Colorado, which was in Denver. Rest in peace, though it is no more, unfortunately. And I studied visual effects, motion graphics, and really kind of dug in on what it is to composite 3D into live action video. And then graduated with my degree, and the economy was absolutely terrible. A
What
bunch of
year?
friends in 2010.
I see. Yeah, I agree. Terrible. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it was like, no, that's a good question. It was just really difficult to find a job, and everybody wanted a seasoned veteran, not some kid fresh out of college. So my buddies and I were like, what are we going to do while we, try to freelance? We need to have a little side hustle project that keeps us all geeked out and engaged and motivated while we're doing all these branded pieces of content or internships or, just kind of getting our career started. So we formed a uh, artist collective called Ghost Pixel, and Ghost Pixel was one of the very first people to projection map Red Rocks Amphitheater. If you're familiar with live music at all, you know about Red Rocks Amphitheater. And we worked with a group called Big Gigantic. They're out of Boulder, which is a near and dear city to me. And I always tried to, collaborate with local artists and musicians, and just felt like a really great way to kind of sync up what we were doing with our animations and, sort of just exploring type projects and learned to VJ. So then I would manipulate the graphics in real time, sync them up to the beat. We'd have the rocks build on the build and explode on the drop. And I think we pretty much melted some people's brains with that one. And we did it 3 more years for their festival. It's called Rowdy Town. And Rowdy Town was just that. It was rowdy. And the graphics were, probably 100 feet tall, 300 feet wide on both sides of the amphitheater, which is just a large natural rock outcropping.
I, I am seeing
And
right now, like yeah, like the how they like do these projections right off of the walls.
yeah, it's pretty wild stuff, man. And so with Ghost Pixel, they were all animated, they were all custom built. And some of them were branded with the big gigantic logo, but a lot of them were just like, weird ideas we had. Like, let's have some dinosaurs running through the bushes, and let's have a hand on a green screen, like reaching up the rock and grabbing at the rock. And so it was a fun exercise. And it was my first adventure into like staffing a team of artists, managing a team of artists, making sure everybody's, hitting their deadlines and getting their stuff done. And that proved to be extremely valuable experience for me.
Around
And so
what time? Like what year were you doing
I
this?
think it was 2011 or 12 was the first one.
Okay,
And then
so
we did it
a couple
3 years in a row.
couple of
Yeah.
years after graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I mean that is actually pretty dope. A couple years out of school, like not knowing what to do or like how to get by, but then like all of a sudden, having this opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And so that kind of became my calling card and went into my demo reel, which led to job interviews. And I worked in advertising for a long time on lots of big beverage brands, both alcoholic and like soda and, energy drinks and sports drinks. And I've always been a big sports guy. That's Denver Donkey. That's where the name comes from. I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan, but when they're bad, and a lot of times they are bad, at least in my childhood, we would call them the Donkeys or the Donks. Be like, oh, the Donks lost today. So it's a little like self-deprecating, but there's always been this place for like sports and athletics as well as like art and branding and animation and video. And so, I've worked with a lot of big names and big people and big brands, and that was all great experience, but it didn't quite satiate me as an artist,
Hmm.
And uh, in 2019, my wife and I went out on our own, went into business, and started our own studio. And it was only after working at advertising agencies and getting laid off, and then working at a mobile gaming studio and getting laid off. So it was just like, dude, take the hint, like control your destiny here.
Mm.
Um, Somebody in a boardroom decided my destiny several times, and I wasn't about that. Didn't feel good. Felt really reckless and out of my control, and I wanted to change that. And my wife was a teacher, um, elementary school teacher, and she was looking to change up her work situation as well. And she's got a master's degree in English. She writes a mean script and copy. And so we kind of embraced that standard advertising agency kind of model, pair a writer with a designer, with a creative. And we scale and bring on other people to help us with projects. We also do a lot of things ourselves and like wear many hats ourselves. um we operated it out of our house for the first year or so, and we were like, oh man, this is going to be great, we're so disruptive, it's 2019, like we're a remote agency and we don't have a team under one roof and everyone works from the comfort of their own home. And then the pandemic hit. And it was like, oh, secret's out. Now everybody knows how to do exactly what was so disruptive for us.
Mm.
So, we had to kind of rethink how we approach that and some of our offerings. And we also, got into the NFT scene around that time. And so, I've done several things just as Denver Donkey, lots of just exploration of tools with AI and VR and AR. Just trying to keep myself challenged and keep progressing my skills and have new things to offer clients. Try to, sell clients on those things once I'm comfortable doing them. And NFTs was like the first time in my life where I really felt like an artist who could create something that didn't adhere to a brand standard, and 11 cooks in the kitchen telling me, all their nitpicky little feedback. It was truly just an opportunity for me to take some things from the archives and put them online and see if people were interested. And that really opened my eyes to community and building community, and trying to stand out in this really saturated digital art space. And I think, a couple years into that experience, I got pretty serious with AI, and I had one of my traditional painter NFT friends, aka Chombo. I don't know if you guys follow Chombo, but he
But we
said to me,
should.
dude, you should, yeah, but you should definitely, aka Chombo. And he said to me, dude, you should just make donkeys all the time with AI. Like, fuck it, because I had shared with him my perspective and why I'm doing this project the way I'm doing it is because I was really upset with this like creator economy where you have to show your face, you have to get on the content treadmill, and you never can, relax again. You have to just constantly make stuff, post about it, teach people stuff, be active, and I'm a dad. I got 2 kids. I run my own business. I mean, I just walked you guys through all of that. That takes most of my time. And AI was very quickly like, oh, wow, I get a lot done here. I could, in my short time period, I can accomplish quite a bit. And so I think it was December of 21, so almost 22, I just went nuclear and, removed all pictures and other art from my Instagram and just post donkeys. And it's kind of a cheeky thing. Like, if you want me to be a jackass on the internet for the profit of billionaires, then by God, I'm going to be a jackass on the internet. And, the jokes kind of write themselves. I can say things like, oh, I was just horsing around. I'm just kidding. I'm just, and I can, build my community and call it a herd. Like, the copy is just endless. It's really fun. And I try not to filter it too heavily. I try to just kind of shoot from the hip and say what I'm thinking and go from there. Yes.
That's
My kid
usually.
just scored a run, man. Hell yeah.
Let's go. uh, and I mean that's actually like the best way to be. Like, there's no better. There's, in a way, I like to say, like, there's no better person to be than yourself, and there's no better way to work than just doing things the way you want to do them.
Yeah, absolutely. And being in control of that destiny and choosing what softwares to pursue and what I think the next phase of this digital art stuff's really going to look like. And, I've lost some friends over it. I've had disagreements over my use of AI, and now I see a lot of people coming around to it. I think everyone's kind of accepted the genie's out of the bottle. So I might as well explore this and see what it can do for me. And I truly believe that once you explore AI enough that it clicks for you personally, then you understand.
Yeah.
But until then, like, you just don't get it.
Yep, exactly. I mean, there's so many uses for AI, and I like every day, and it's crazy because like I think it was like since like the beginning of 2024 or something like that, there was just this like sudden AI boom
Mm-hmm.
that like every single day I've woken up since, like there's like a new use of AI. Like, some genius found a new way to do something with their AI. Like, for example, like, maybe this is a small thing, to me it's a big thing. In Premiere Pro by Adobe.
Yeah.
They
Mm-hmm.
they have that feature where like now you could like take an asset that is like 2D, like facing you, and kind of like rotate them, and
Yep.
it like yeah, like just generates like the asset.
Yeah, or you can like use it to extend a clip in an edit. Like, let's say you've got this shot, but it needs to be 2 seconds longer to make the edit work right. You can just do that,
What?
you just extend it. And that's just such a beautiful thing that enables the artist to focus on making better art,
Hold
not
up.
making sure the edit's right.
You just unlocked something for me here. I didn't even know. Hold up, that the AI was capable of doing this.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, and in After Effects, you can use AI to like clone stamp out everything for you.
I,
You don't have to spend hours in Photoshop cleaning shit up anymore. You just like circle it and say remove that, and it'll just take it out.
mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm gonna be diving into Adobe Pro in this coming week, like for a lot of hours. I mean, since we're on the topic, I guess, in your as a digital artist, what are some of the programs that you enjoy using?
I think it kind of depends on what I'm trying to achieve, what software I'll use.
Okay.
But a lot of my AI stuff is Midjourney. I just have always thought they kind of had a better model. And I know the ethics of what they trained it on is very much in question. They're being sued by Disney for crying out loud. Like they're a lot of people's enemy. But for me, it was like, well, this is the best one. So like, let's learn this one. Um,
That's
and they recently just added video
uh-huh.
AI. So I've got thousands of donkeys that now I can just say, now make that move. Now make this one move. And it's just so wild to me that, I mean, I didn't know why I was making all these donkeys. I had no plan. I still really don't. I'm kind of figuring this out as I go. And that's the point of it. That's the whole point of the project is like it's unfiltered, raw, and just me exploring tools like any artist would have done in the past, right? And I use a lot of the Adobe suite. I'm very well versed with Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro. And then when it comes to 3D, I prefer a software called Cinema 4D.
Okay.
And I started learning that back in college. And I don't use it every day at this point, but there have been multiple years of my life where I used it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then most recently, I've been learning the Unreal Engine because I'm tired of rendering and it doesn't look how I want it to look, but it took us 24 hours to render it. So with Unreal Engine, it's pretty much real time. And I can just immediately see it in my viewport and be like, oh, that's not what I want. Let's fix that before we render it. And then the renders themselves only take like 5 or 10 minutes generally. So that's really improved my efficiency in 3D.
I see.
And, I do stuff with VR and AR, and
Yeah.
those are all kind of different software packages too. But
Okay,
I'm a
so
software nerd. I,
when
I love that stuff.
in terms of AR, because like I've dabbled a little bit in AR.
Mhm.
What? Okay, my I had a grand dream about AR, but it got crushed once I started doing the AR, because like I was imagining kind of like that there would be the one AR platform or the one AR bridge that, like, let's say I could use one code and whoever scans it can access it on their phone or whatever. But come to find
Mhm.
out, it's like there's Lens, which is Snapchat's like AR. There's what is it? Spark, I think that is for Meta. Is it Spark?
Yeah, and they crushed that. They don't have it anymore. They don't support it.
Really?
I
Okay.
lost all my Spark AR filters from my Instagram. It's been a whole issue
I
for
mean,
me
is
anyway.
that what you were using mostly?
Yeah, it just was like the best off the shelf solution that I felt like, all right, I have a generous following on Instagram as well.
Mhm.
Let's try this out, and put the tool in people's hands to do whatever they want with it. And I didn't have much engagement with it, unfortunately, but it sure showed me how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And and now they take away the software, and it's like, well, how are we going to do that now? You know?
Yeah.
And I've sold it to some customers or clients, and it's been cool to like give them an AR tool to their social media team to be able to like bring in these 3D characters that we built and make their own content
Hmm.
that feels a part of the campaign, but is like clearly AR and like a little bit lower tech. And you still see the familiar faces of the characters that they spend a ton of money to have us develop and create. So I wish that Spark hadn't gone away, but that's where we're at with it.
I
I
see.
think I think you're gonna have like the Android Apple issues
Hmm.
probably forever. That's a
Dang.
tale as old as time. But I'm a iPhone user, and there are some um, file formats that just work directly with the native camera app. So you can just open this file and place this AR sculpture wherever you want.
Mm.
And I think that's really cool. But it's like when you want to do the face tracking and you want to, have it blink its eyes when you blink your eyes and track your mouth. It's like now we're talking about a platform like Snapchat, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah. 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 So yeah, I kind of my AR journey like got cut short for a little bit, maybe until like the technology evolves, or maybe I just decide. Like I wanted to kind of try to see if I could put some sort of like barcode, whatever, trigger image on like one of
Hmm.
my on one of like my merchandise, so that like if anyone were to hit the trigger image, like I guess in this case would be with Snapchat, like while they're out in public, they'll get like a big Mew popping out, or whatever I choose to do with it.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
kind of like in a way I want to I've wanted to kind of like bring like an AR world into like clothing, and I know it's like being done, but I feel like it's like still not out. It's not as popular as it should be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, especially when you tie in a digital wearable, that's like you could have it on your avatar and in real life. And when people scan it, it's like a surprise and delight moment for them as well.
Hmm.
And then you get approached and they're like, yo, I love your sweatshirt. Like, I scanned it and oh my gosh, it opened a donkey on my phone that started hee hawing and embarrassed me in front of my whole family, but it was worth it. Like the catching people off guard like that and making them laugh or making them feel really anything. That's the goal of art. And if you can have it move, you can make it more engaging. Like now we're talking, man. That's really what I think the next iteration of the future looks like.
I think so
It's
too.
people getting out of these rectangles and into real glasses
Hmm.
and being able to see this stuff.
Yep.
Like
And
I wear eyeglasses every day, and if I could just start seeing 3D with my glasses whenever I wanted, that would be absolutely incredible.
yes. And I mean, to tell you the truth, Meta and Ray-Bans are like in the forefront of that movement right now. Like
Hmm.
to tell you the truth, it blows my mind. I still haven't bought any, and I'm planning on it as soon as I get over some payments I need to do. but
Yeah.
uh, but $300 AR glasses, like that is way cheaper than I ever thought the initial like price for a product like that like would be. Or not AR glasses, or are they smart glasses, or are they considered? Let me look it up.
I don't know that they're AR. I think they
They're
just have AI in
right,
them, but
they're
they have a
AI.
camera.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Sorry,
know,
sorry. I completely completely botched that.
but
Yeah.
they're trying to get the form factor right and get the interest behind it, and make sure they can actually execute a product at that price point. And all of these things are really powerful indicators of where they're headed. Um, I I did see that they are also partnering with Oakley's, which is much more of like an athletic kind of um, lens, less like nerdy, more built for speed. And I myself wear Oakley, so I'm like, okay, now I'm interested. Like I will wear those fishing. And be able to like capture video of myself landing massive trout,
Hmm.
or I can wear them and play catch with my kid in the yard. And I think that live streamers will move to that format, especially once it becomes more easy to live stream just from your glasses, or from your glasses through your phone. And you'll see a lot of people streaming their real life, like out shopping or on a hike, or you know on a walk with their dog, will become much more commonplace. And when you have people living in those things, creating that content and creating those experiences, they are ripe for advertising. Let's just face it. Like that's
Exactly.
where it's headed.
I think so too. I mean, I think there are some hurdles to get to because like, for example, like the with these like with technology, all of it needs a power source, and like like the biggest like issue has always been, it's like, how do we get a powerful battery into the frames of glasses. It's like, so okay, so they have accomplished this. Now it's like, next step, it's like, how powerful can we make it, what can we make it do? And then once we get to that point, I think we need to start worrying about like glasses potentially like short circuiting, blowing
Yeah.
up.
Well, and I think the battery life comment is interesting because maybe it's not about having 6 hours of battery life. Maybe it's about the battery being able to charge 80% full in 20 minutes, you know,
Hmm.
like forcing you to just take that break. You needed the break anyway, you know? Like I see the same argument with like electric cars. People are like, "Oh, I need 700 miles of range." It's like, the fuck you do, man. You're going to have to take a leak before you meet 700 miles. So you'll be pulling over, and whatever. I think as long as you can charge them up fast and they're stable and they work well, people will use them. But if it's like a buggy mess with no battery life, then you miss the mark big time. Are you there? I don't hear you.
Like break.
You there? Sinful? Oh yeah, there you are.
There I am. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if it was my mic that cut off just now or my connection, but I think we're back. I think we back.
Cool, no problem.
Sorry about that. Uh,
No, dude, this is the life we live now. No
the
worries.
the moment of silence, and I mean, let's bring just to bring it back to the crowd here. Let's see, on Decentraland we have 16 people watching. On Twitch we have another 6 people watching, a few people on Kick, a couple on Party, and a few on X as well. So I mean, lively night tonight. Thank you all for coming out. And welcome, Mary Shark. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see who else just pulled up. What's up, TJ Artemis? And then we have the legend Chrono T over there in the corner. Welcome, Chrono. Meta Tiger, so good to see you. Thank you so much for popping in to be on the NFT. I know it's late for you, my friend. All my friend is all the way out in Europe, so it's very late for them.
Oh yeah, well thanks for showing up. And shout out to Roots if you're still out there. I'm giving a wave.
Big love to Roots. Big love to Roots. Oh yeah, and big shout out to Meese. Good to see you, my brother. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about like your, I guess your experience with the Decentraland, like from as far as like I can think can think of, like you were featured on Vertex, hosted by
Hmm.
Gucci. One like in the past. And I mean, Gucci, amazing human being, very talented individual, and as we saw, amazing curator as well. So
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. He approached me. Actually, he and his brother approached me and were like, "Hey man, you want to help us with a Gucci Toe NFT?" And I was like, "Sure, man. Like, what do you guys want?" They're like, "We just want, bronze, silver, and gold record, And so if you bought one, you get a free Gucci Toe show or like a stream for your house party or whatever." And I whipped those up for him. It was a fun little collaboration. It's always cool to figure out how to do something really fast with 3D and make it render really fast and just kind of get her done.
Hmm.
And so that was kind of my first experience with Decentraland community.
So his brother, Kali Pixels, correct?
Yeah, Kali Pixel for sure.
He's out in Denver, or at least out there in Colorado, I
Yeah,
believe. So that's
he
awesome.
is. Hmm. And he and I stay in touch. And then I also did some sort of like live stream thing in Decentraland once. Just live stream myself, like taking some AI creations and bringing them into After Effects and puppeting them around and whatnot. And it was streaming while he was DJing. And I believe something like that is how Roots came across me and was like, "Oh, I'm a Broncos fan. I get Denver Donkey. That's funny." And the rest is history. I mean, he's one of my top collectors and collected from my Donks project, which is my 150 cartoon donkeys. Um, and that was my first project that I launched on my own contract that I wrote with Nifty Kit and used their like no code solution on Ethereum.
Okay.
And I sold out that project in, I don't know, it was maybe like 6 weeks. So it wasn't like immediate,
Wow.
but
No, that's
they went
great.
quick. Yeah, they went real quick. And I was like, oh, okay, people are into this. So then, if you hold a donk, I allow donks to place, bids or offers on projects first. They get a couple days lead time before I open it up to the general public. Um, and that's been a really fun experience. And Roots went on to collect the Donkey Crystal Skull, and he's collected my Donkagachi's project, which is like, Tamagotchi, but Donkagachi. And it's like a pocket pet. So that's been a really fun project that I worked on with Midjourney for years now. I've just been making these things and kind of fine tuning the aesthetic that I like and the there's different like herds and themes and backgrounds and they're all kind of like similar but different. And that's been a really fun exercise in like editorial as an artist. As a 3D artist, I've always just had enough frames to make the edit, right? Maybe we have a few extra frames here or there, but it's really just to get what we need and that's all we render. But now with AI, it's like I have thousands of Donkagachis and they're not all great. They're not all winners or ready for prime time, but It's a fun exercise. And like now I have too much content. How do I edit this down? How do I pare this down into like the best of the best? And I'll say that that wasn't really a skill set I had before AI. I'd never had that problem before.
Modern, what is it? Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah, exactly, man.
uh,
Exactly. And so it's been really cool to like push these projects and not know where they're going, but just trust the process and keep going and keep making them. And I won't say that I do a daily art project, but if you do look up Daily Donk on X, I post a lot of donkeys, man. And it's just like topical. It's like what I'm doing that day or what I'm wearing that day or like what I ate for breakfast.
that's
And it's
nice.
a donkey somehow, related to those things.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and I think, just doing that for years now,
Mhm.
I've figured out that like the secret sauce for me is my experience. It's my vocabulary. It's my ability to be able to talk about it, to describe what I see in my mind's eye. And once I realized that was how I would be successful with AI, I really had to kind of surrender to it. I had some reservations as an artist. I think a lot of artists do. And we talked about that a little bit earlier, but um, there will be job loss, but not just artists. There's going to be job loss everywhere, folks. So figure it out.
Yep, yep.
Um, and I think it could lead to a lot more artists and people forced to pursue other endeavors that maybe they wouldn't have pursued otherwise. I'm a bit of an optimist. I know that's a very optimistic take, but I hope that we can all become empowered creators. And just like when the digital camera was invented, it didn't ruin photography. There's still fine art photographers, there's still wildlife photographers. I
Hmm.
think it'll be the same thing. Um, just another tool, and it's more about how you make it speak for you and what you can do to communicate your message to the viewer. So
You share the same opinion or like yeah, the same feelings as my good friend Rustan here on Decentraland. He's a body paint artist and 3D creator, and yeah, he says that it's like I'm not worried about it because it's a tool. I'm the one
mhm.
making. I'm the one creating. That this is a tool that's helping me reach my vision. So yeah.
Yeah, and just exploring it on my own through the Denver Donkey Project gives me like sort of a vessel to explore all these tools. Like which ones are good at making donkeys? Like some of them are really bad at that. I'll be honest with you.
Which ones
And
are do you rate the least in donkey making?
I mean, when AI first pulled up on the scene, I was introduced to an iPhone app called Wombo Dream or something like that.
Hmm.
And it's like hot garbage compared to where we're at now. Um, and it didn't do well at donkeys, but that didn't mean I didn't add it to every single prompt and just see how I could like push it and manipulate it and where the boundaries were. When would they censor me? When would I cross some sort of invisible line? Like, I'm a habitual line stepper. You tell me I can't do something, that's the most motivating thing anybody's ever said to me. Um, I'm just that kind of guy. I won't give up until I figure it out. And I think that kind of goes back to when I was a little kid. Like, I loved magic tricks,
Hmm.
and I would work on them and rehearse them and refine it and would never give up until I was getting it right. And people were like, damn, how'd you do that? And I think that's a good 3D or VFX artist. You don't feel them there. That's how they've done their job correctly.
I like it. I like it. let's so let's okay, we talked a little bit about like kind of Decentraland, like the what you've done on Decentraland kind of stream, which I was kind of surprised when you were telling me that you must have like some sort of supercomputer when you're telling me that you were like on Premiere or like on Adobe
Oh,
while streaming to Decentraland, and I was just like right there, just alone, just blown away because I'm pretty sure like my OBS just starts wigging out whenever I bring Premiere into play or Adobe anything.
yeah, I don't know that the performance was optimal, but you know, it got the point across, and people were entertained to see kind of behind the curtain why I was doing that. But yeah, I don't mess around when it comes to computers. I always say go big or go home, because if you want to replace it in 2 years, buy the cheap one, you know. But if you want to like have it last 5, 6, 7 years for you and still be relevant, just spend the money. It's a tool, and I liken it to a contractor who you might, or a handyman, you know, who you're like, hey, build my deck. You don't tell him to build your deck with nail and hammer. Like, he's going to show up with a nail gun,
Mhm.
and he's going to knock the project out. And that's just kind of how I think of it. It's a quality tool for me to make quality things and get them done fast. So I've never really had a problem with it. In fact, I'm not allowed at Micro Center with the credit card alone unsupervised. Um,
Ah.
I will invest, you know, and I think maybe that's something I've done well, is invest in myself and my tools and my space to create every day so that I can control those and be able to, you know, be as productive as possible.
I like it. I like it. What kind of hardware are you rocking right now? Like computer
Um,
wise, PC.
yeah, I've got an i9 PC with a 4090.
Okay, you weren't kidding when you said go big or go home, because that 4090 is gigantic. It's like bigger than my head, I believe.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in the small case. You got to do like medium or large case. Um, but it's been a really trusty piece of hardware.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went to PC and NVIDIA, let's see, would have been like 2017. My buddy built my first PC for me. And I mean it, he did all of it. I just held the flashlight.
Mhm.
And got into GPU rendering through Cinema 4D using a render engine called Octane. And Octane was awesome because you could see, you know, within 30 seconds, something pretty close to what you were going to spend hours rendering later, but right there in your viewport. And then fast forward to today, that's what Unreal Engine is fulfilling for me now. And there's lots of other real-time renderers. There's Redshift, Octane, Unreal, but it's more just for me about like, how can I build things and then try to deploy them to other places as well. And so that's why for me it's all about Unreal Engine, because Unreal can do VR, it can do motion graphics for just video, it can handle video, it can handle textures and sprite sheets, and like you can take something that you made for one purpose and kind of shoehorn it into another purpose fairly easily. And I think softwares that do that are kind of the most interesting right now, where it's like they have a lot of different possibilities. It's more about what are you trying to do and how are you trying to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And can you imagine it?
Yeah, and you know, are you trying to optimize for performance for a mobile device or a VR headset or whatever?
That's
It's
doable.
really all possible through Unreal Engine. And then you pair that with a, you know, subscription to Chat GPT that can explain how to use Unreal Engine to me like I'm 10 years old. And I've spent a few years doing that and just asking it questions.
Nice.
Or like, I know how to do this in Cinema 4D, but how would I do that in Unreal Engine?
Hmm.
And it'll like, use terms that I'm familiar with and say, but in Unreal, this is the term for it. And that's just been another superpower. It's like, oh, now I don't have to like go find the tutorial, watch the tutorial, figure out 20
Yeah.
minutes into it that this isn't the right thing for me
Yeah.
and go look again. Like
The
we just
struggles.
eliminate all that from the pipe and it's all productive time.
Yeah, yeah, man, the struggles, but yeah, you're totally right, and I mean, even listening to you, like there are friends even here, like developing in the Decentraland is not very easy, but I've heard of friends like just throwing their code into ChatGPT and and saying figure it out.
Yeah, or like tell me where I went wrong. Like I don't understand. Help me fix this, and it will.
Yep, yep. I mean, AI definitely has a lot of potential to make creatives like that much more creative.
Yeah, and it just lets us stay in the pocket and like be creative instead of trying to figure out the technical limitations of why something's not working. Like
Yeah,
that really takes you out of your creative brain and into a highly technical, like troubleshooting kind of mindset, which
exactly.
I also love, but not like 8 hours of it like
Hmm.
I've done in the past before.
Yeah, I mean,
And
and you're right.
if you can solve that problem in 20 minutes, good for you.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It's different energy and kind of like once you get into that techie like troubleshoot mode, then it's the creative juice is like kind of flowing away.
Yeah, and then you fix it and you're like, okay, but what was I doing?
What did I want
Like
to do?
now it works, but what was I even doing? So if I can stay away from those kind of interruptions, I find that I spend more of my time making the thing look good or
Yeah.
making it pleasing to me or to my client rather than solving a technical hurdle that really didn't need to be there to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so looks like we're about to reach an hour, like maybe like 10, 15 minutes or so, I believe,
Cool.
maybe. So I mean maybe I could start asking you some closing questions in a way. I mean they're not really too serious at all. Like one of question number one, like what are some of your favorite hobbies?
Oh man, I just did my favorite hobby today. I went fly fishing. And fly fishing is my analog hobby to my digital lifestyle. Like I have to unplug, go someplace with no cell service on purpose, put my phone in my backpack because it doesn't matter
Hmm.
and stand out there in the river and, do something that takes up every inch of my brain capacity. There's no time to worry about, did I leave the coffee pot on? Or like, oh, is that client emailing me back? Or like, how come I haven't heard back from so and so? No, you missed the fish, dude. Like, you just missed the fish. And so you got to really like focus. And I think that that's a nice, I don't know, juxtaposition to my digital lifestyle. I mean, I'm on a computer 12 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week, quite frequently. And it's nice to get outside and see the sun and feel it on your skin and not worry about the computer for a while. Um, and then I just love being outside. So I'll go hiking or walking. I really enjoy walking my dog. It's kind of a part of my process every day on my way to the studio. There's a nice pond that we drive past, and I pull in and walk her, and it's kind of gets my creative juices flowing and helps me prioritize my day so that when I hit the studio, it's clear what my goals are.
Nice, nice,
Um,
very important.
yeah, man. And then I like vacationing too, and traveling and trying to like do things that are in a way self care, but also educational and experience based. And Um, I think I get a lot of value out of experiences from traveling and just going someplace unusual that I've never been before, that maybe I don't even speak the language, but we're going to figure it out.
We will understand each other one way or another.
Yep, exactly.
And
We'll figure this out.
And I mean, you definitely like if you're still in Colorado, like you have kind of like a wide spectrum of potential activities. Like there's snow. There you have all the seasons. I live in Florida.
Hmm.
We only have two seasons here in Florida: hot and
Oh,
less
hot,
hot.
hotter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, so yeah, over there, I mean, you get snow. You got some good hunting out there as well. Like,
Hmm.
yep,
Yeah, I grew up doing a lot of that kind of stuff when I was a kid, but I gotta be honest with you, Columbine High School shooting really changed the tone in the room about guns in my family. So
I see.
not so much of that anymore, but definitely a lot of fishing, man. Catch and release, go out there and just have fun, but leave them, in good shape for somebody else to catch someday.
Yep, exactly. If anyone would like to, hit you up, say hello, or maybe even reach out for a potential collaboration or whatever it may be, what's the best way to reach you?
Oh, definitely my X account is the best way to reach me. It's Denver_donkey. I'm most active on there. That's where a bulk of my community is, and like followers that are on there. So I spend most of my time there. I really enjoy Twitter Spaces too. So you got a space talking about digital art. Invite me, and if I'm available, I'll come hop in and shoot the shit for a little while. My door is always open if people have technical questions or software questions, or you just want to see a funny donkey, message me. I'll send it to you. I'll promise you I have one.
Donkey for every mood. Uh,
Yeah, man. At this point, I might. At this point, I might have that.
I'm over here sharing your X on all the platforms, and I see that 13 is on Kick and Twitch. What up, 13? Much love to you. Thank you for pulling up tonight. And I mean, tonight's been a great show. It's been awesome conversation, getting to know you. And I mean, shit, maybe hopefully one of these days, we could do something on Decentraland together, whether if it's like a showcase, a art showcase, whatever it may be. Like, I'm gonna keep you in mind, my friend.
That's cool, man. I'm always open to that sort of thing. I love a good opportunity because I met one of my best collectors, Roots, that way, and it's just like you never know where it could lead or what could happen. So
Yeah.
I'm always open to that, and yeah, I appreciate you having the space and allowing me the opportunity to speak about who I am and what I do. And even though it's just donkey shit, you guys should go check it out because I'd really appreciate it. I think it'd bring a smile to your face.
uh, and who is your favorite Denver Bronco?
Oh, that's easy. John Elway,
John
all day.
Elway. John Elway. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was borderline like a god in my house. Terrell Davis is also high on the list. I've had the pleasure of meeting Terrell multiple times throughout my life. Most recently, got to collaborate with him on a CBD drink that he uses in recovery after he exercises. And it was really awesome, man. Got to talk about how I had him sign his autobiography after Super Bowl 32. And here we are, 25 years later, over craft services meeting each other again. So, I love the Denver Broncos, but there's these funny threads that weave between my career and players and the whole thing, man. It's a vibe. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos. So I mean, I was not I didn't get to watch John Elway play football. By the time I kind of like personally I got into sports or old enough to understand what it was, I think it was like around the early 2000s, 2001, 2000. Um, so yeah, don't
That's
remember too
cool.
much. Yeah, but I guess I can. And I don't know how you feel about this one. I'm probably saying something that's sacrilegious, but I kind of enjoyed seeing not Eli, Peyton Manning on
Yep.
the Broncos,
Oh,
playing with.
I love that too, man.
Okay,
I loved
good.
that.
I really loved watching yeah, and I believe it was they won the 2012 Super Bowl. Am I was it is it
It might have
or
been
th- or
2015 or something
15?
like that.
Okay, yes, yes. I yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean playing with Darius Sanders. That's his
Oh,
name?
yeah.
But man,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
And, the Peyton years were great for me personally because I've been a long time fantasy football player. And Peyton was with the Colts and he had a injured neck, like a fracture in his neck.
Oh man.
And they didn't think he'd ever play again. And I kept him on my fantasy bench and kept him as my keeper in my league. We can keep one player. And then in the offseason, he became a Bronco. And then we won the Super Bowl. And so, it just like led to this whole thing for me that was really, really magical as a Broncos fan.
Oh wow. Yeah, like yeah, all the pieces just fell into place.
Yep.
That's
That's how
awesome.
it seems to go,
That,
especially when I'm not trying to force it. It
that
just figures itself out.
yeah, that is pretty awesome. I mean, um, there's definitely like I can resonate like even with my personal teams of like moments that were kind of like weird circumstances that happened that just mm, made it so my team could excel. Like, for example, I am a Giants fan.
Okay.
So like, I mean, the 2000, I believe it was 2007 or 2008 Super Bowl against like Brady,
Yep.
undefeated Patriots, and like, the famous helmet catch.
Yep.
Like like it's like stuff like that. Like I remember watching that season, and like I was really into football, and the Giants were, they were struggling, but they were fighting, and I don't know, that type of resilience that I love to see in a team. It's like that the team, it was one of the teams that was like least likely or considered least likely to make it, but somehow made it.
Yeah, and the Broncos struggled for years after Peyton retired, and we've been through I don't know, half dozen at least decent quarterbacks. And now we got Bo Nix, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Here's our guy. This is our Elway again. This is the next decade of Broncos quarterback. So I'm really hopeful there. I can't wait till the season. I got to get down to training camp too. That's always a big part of my summer plans is trying to go see the Broncos training camp.
Ooh, that's awesome. That's awesome to be around. Nice, nice. We kind of went into a little football talk, and I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. It's easy for me to do that. Sorry.
no worries.
It's my
Same,
fault.
same here. For me, it's like more or less like every sport. Like I don't know everything about a team or the sports, but like I can speak about like moments in life that were like sports have really had like special moments. Um,
Mhm.
so I mean, yeah. I mean, it's awesome having you on the show tonight. Thank you for being on Beyond the NFT. Any final thoughts you'd like to leave everyone with before we close out?
Oh, that thing that you're thinking too much about and you're, running all the possible outcomes. Stop. Just make the choice that's right in your heart and live with what happens next because you might be surprised.
Yes, sir. I like it. I like it. Hey, you hear that, everyone? Take notes. Take notes. Alrighty, Denver Donkey, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, I mean, in the future, let's definitely do this again. If you ever got a project you're working on, something special, whatever it may be, like, let's chat.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I'll definitely stay in touch. And thank you again for the opportunity. And thank you to everybody who stopped by or listened afterwards or whatever. Love you guys.
Much love, much love. Thank you. And just to everyone that is here at Meta One Design headquarters on Decentraland, thank you for your time. Everyone on Twitch, Twitter, Kick, YouTube, X, Party. I will be closing down the streams on all streaming platforms except for Decentraland, and I'll probably play a little bit of music or something on Decentraland for the rest of the evening. Just relax and enjoy each other's company. Thank you everyone for being here. You know, always special to have you all come listen to these, you know, these talk shows. Never would have thought that this many people would come to, you know, something that I've hosted. So it's really special to me. Thank you, and yeah, we'll be back here next week for another episode of Beyond the NFT. And yeah, we'll see who next week's guest is. I'm still working on that one. Can't give any spoilers just yet. I see old guy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you, old guy. We're just finishing up here, but I will be. I'll probably throw on some TV, some Netflix or something. Just vibe. Yeah. All right, everyone, stand by.